Hi, this is Kim Pinkney and welcome to my channel. Well, I came across this one face that I thought was really pretty, and she looked like she was like something that I would draw. And then I came across a whole bunch of others. So it's like, okay, either I need to stop looking at images or just start drawing. So I'm doing actually some quick sketches of some of the things that I saw. Some of the models that I saw, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that would look badass on a picture. So I'm just doing a quick drawing of some of the things that I saw on Pinterest. And I was like, wow, I like that pose. Oh, I like that hair. You know, things like that. Um, and yesterday I was starting to think about the things that I was drawing. And I was like, you know what, one of the things that I don't like doing is drawing other people's stuff. I like coming up with my own characters. And that's another thing about being an artist. Like, you want to draw your own stuff, but you also want to draw what's popular. And then as you're drawing things that are popular, it's like, or like in my case, things that make me nostalgic for other cartoons, it's like, I really would so much like to see new stuff or draw my own stuff. Um, One of the things about drawing other people's stuff is like you're limited to what their character is in order to keep them looking the way the character is supposed to look. The things that make that character that character. And and my thing is, if I'm going to draw something else, somebody else's character, I want it to look exact. If I throw my stuff into it, it's not their character as much. And so, I don't know, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's like you can put your own stuff into it, but you lose a little bit of what that character was. I don't know. It's really complicated in my big ass head on things like that. So I'm thinking it's just easier and less confusing for me if I just draw my own stuff. And I mean, I guess there's a time and place to draw other people's stuff. Um, but I'm of the mindset where I kind of just want to do my own thing. And then there's nothing wrong with either one. I mean, I've seen some beautiful fan art, amazing fan art, inspirational fan art, and I think that's absolutely fabulous. I guess this is not for me right now at this moment, even though I know like fan art sells, and there's so many things that I want to see drawn that you just don't see. And it's like you just want to bring it into life. You want to make it happen. I just want to do it, do it, do it. So I'll probably be doing some fan art in the future, but right now, I just want to go where my muse takes me. And I saw this one image where a person had beads in her hair, and it kind of made this lattice work shape. It covered like part of her face. And I'm like, oh, that is gorgeous. And then when it came, I mean, it's not practical by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, you're not going to be able to. You can wear it artistically. You can wear it mystically. But when it comes to, the day-to-day, doing your laundry, you're not going to want to wear this style. And I thought, this would be excellent for like a magic user, something like that. She had she had a lot going on with her hair, and I thought it was just so gorgeous. And I like how just like some pictures inspire me. Um, Other things that inspire me are like watching sketchbook, what is it called? Sketchbook tours. And it just makes me, like looking at someone else's work makes me want to get off my butt and do something. And I was watching this one young artist, and I'm like, oh, she's really good. And you could tell where she was drawing from her imagination, uh, and where she was drawing from a subject. And her subjects were all like, well, a good portion of them were in proportion. They were well colored, um, very well focused. The line work was a lot more confident, and but when she looked like she was drawing from possibly her imagination, it was like the complete opposite. Things were out of proportion. Um, and I'm just guessing, but that's what it kind of looked like to me. Is that she was when she was drawing, it just it's a difference when you draw from your mind versus when you draw from reality, um, and you could definitely tell she was drawing from her mind, which is not a bad thing, but it's like you got to remember the basics. It's one thing to draw from your mind, but it's in if you don't have some sort of fundamentals uh, of where things are supposed to fall, like keeping roundness in mind, your things will look a lot more two-dimensional, um, and so it's good to just have some sort of, uh, if you're not going to draw from a picture, um, to at least know the proportions of the body. But she's up and coming, and I definitely would like. I'm gonna probably subscribe to her just so I can see uh, her growth throughout the years, as she progresses in her channel. It's gonna be fabulous. I love watching new artists thrive and grow and do their own thing. And as I'm talking about anatomy and things like that, I need to watch my own. I'm out of proportion right now. Some of the and I try not to discount where I get my what teaches me. I've learned a lot of anatomy from uh, Marvel comics. Uh, Not the like new stuff where people are distorting the body to all ends, um, but where the older stuff, like back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, where they cared about proportions um, and actually seemed to look like they were drawing from real people and not, hyper realistic cartoon form. And I guess I was kind of like that ever since I was a kid. I get my knowledge wherever I can. Nowadays, you can get it from like YouTube, but for me, when I was growing up, I was getting it from comic books, coloring books, anything that had artwork in it, TV shows. Um, I was just getting it from everywhere, anywhere I could get it. I was starved as an artist. I really um, loved catching ideas from and techniques from anybody who was willing to share them. If I saw like a friend of mine draw like hair, like and this may be dating me, But there was an actress called Farrah Fawcett, and she was kind of like the Jennifer Aniston. Oh God, maybe I'm dating myself even further. Um, but she was like a trendsetter, and she's had this really iconic hair. And I asked my friend, "How did you get that hair?" And it was kind of like hair. Let me see if I can come up with a quick face on what it would look like. Let me save this one. Okay, that is saved. I want to find a really cute face. Yeah, this is a cute face. Let me make sure I'm still on camera. Okay. I have this really bad tendency of jumping off camera and not monitoring the chat and stuff. But uh, I'll show you what I learned when I was a kid. Um, I didn't know uh, drawing strokes. That was totally new to me, and I'm going to kind of draw this cartoony. Um, that you could take your pencil and you can go in different directions, and you could have strokes. I didn't know what I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it meant, and I didn't know, I didn't have terminology back in the day. But now you've got a ton of people who are more than willing to impart some sort of knowledge onto you. So let me go ahead and do a basic face. I like that this woman was making this like kissing motion, pursing her lips so that it looked like she was blowing you a kiss, because it makes her cheekbones and her jawline really just pop out. And to this day, I still kind of use these strokes, and all it is like from the top of the head. Let me get on in there. And this was like one of those 70s, 80s looks. Farrah Fawcett was a, gosh, model. She was one of the Charlie's Angels. That was a show that back in the day that was really super popular. And it's been the show had been remade into movies and things like that, but it was a long running show. But the hairstyle that let's see, I'm almost there. Real quick, Kim. And it's funny because I use these strokes like I'm doing these eyelashes. Let's see. Here we go. She looks like Mommy Dearest. Yeah, and I made the same mistakes as other young artists did as I was growing up. I didn't have a light touch. I didn't know about shading. I was a kid. I didn't know. But these same type of strokes helped me to develop a lot of what I'm doing today. Okay. This was like the Farrah Fawcett hairstyle. It was, you would take like this shape here and you just keep fanning it out. Just like that. And when I saw the girl do it, I was like, oh my God, how did you do that? And all it was just doing this motion. And the trick was that you had to be able to do it on both sides. Her hair was what they call feathered. And it was just like this going out and then coming down like this, kind of, sort of. But it was like this, and oh my gosh, everything I drew ended up looking like this. And then you got to remember, like, the top of the head. Always give your person plenty of brain and hair to go to cover it. And then, you know, you can make variations of this stroke. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, it like changed my religion. It was crazy. And now, practicing strokes like that help with doing other things. Like if you want to give that feathered look to your eyelashes, practice this stroke. It's just, basically you're just making the hair feathered. And then this was only the front part of her hair, and then the rest of her hair was like, was tapered and feathered and, you know, all around. But you could do shorter strokes. You could, and that would give you like a curve. The closer you were together, the closer it would get darker and fuller and curvier. So it looked like it was giving you roundness all around the face. And then from the ends, and I do this a lot. This is how I do my eyelashes. And I never realized how much of this style from, gosh, 20, 30 years ago, that I still use to this day. And it's just small strokes in order to get your overall shape. You could break the top off and do whatever you want, and then you can feather that around and feather it this way. And it was like she was flying. It was like she had wings. And then when I saw, and I had drawn it so much and so often that when I actually saw the person who had it, I was like, oh, I can do her hair. Yeah, it was kind of lame. Yeah. But you'll find that small strokes will help you draw a larger picture. Like, same thing with this. Just being able to do that stroke in different directions. So like you have bangs, but you also have eyelashes, just further apart. Same shape, just in a different direction. Lips. Lips aren't perfectly smooth. They have texture. They have roundness. And when they're puckered, they Farrah Fawcett. They come down. They wrap around the shape. Too many makes it look old. So be very careful with your puckers. And then it can also give you full lashes. And it can also dictate where your shape is going. So lines going in a direction, like I've got like several lines going this way, it just shows that it's just giving shape to the face. And sometimes you won't notice. So like if you see fur, same thing, it's just small strokes. A lot of my faces are a lot of small strokes. Sometimes I'll pick a line and go with it. And then even doing, what is it called? Contours. A lot of tiny strokes. Some of them straight, some of them curved. And it just gives you that shape. So like if you are trying to draw muscles, draw your shape. I think I'll give her more of a pointed chin. And I was thinking it was less confidence of line, because I would use tiny strokes in order to make my full image. Now, too many lines in a face um, can look like wrinkles. So you want to be kind of specific on where you put your lines. Think of your lines as contours and that they are going in a certain direction. Now, if you put too many lines on a face, they look like they'll age your subject. So if you're trying to make an older woman, you can add crow's feet. You can add more lines. But if you're trying to draw somebody, like say a person does have all these lines and stuff, but they don't want all those lines in their picture, especially if you're doing a portrait of them. Bring those lines closer together, make them into a shadow rather than the closer together they are, the more it looks like a contour rather than crow's feet. Okay? So that's one thing to keep an eye out for. If you're drawing an older person and they want to look good. If you're drawing a woman, men don't really care about the wrinkles, but women do. I mean, we spend, I don't spend, a lot of money on trying to look young. People with less melanin in their skin, the light ages them faster. One expression I like is black don't crack. But it's kind of harder to tell a person's age as they're older. The more melanin in your skin, the less likely you'll have wrinkles or show the wrinkles. It's weird, but you can see that with like movie stars. Like you look at Angela Bassett and her skin looks so dang tight. But then again, she does things. She looks good. And you'll look at another person the same age, and they don't look so hot. But then again, it's kind of hard to tell. A lot of people get plastic surgery. But anyway, my point is that women don't like to be drawn with a whole bunch of lines on their face. So instead of drawing like the hash, like tick marks and hashtag, like these little contour lines, instead of leaving them the way they are, you want to blend them. I don't recommend using your finger because your finger has oils and whatnot on it, but either invest in, you can use a napkin, a blending stump, and just go ahead and blend those lines in. That way it doesn't look like what is the word? Wrinkles. Women don't like to be seen with wrinkles. If you're doing a caricature of someone, like a cartoon of somebody, don't put a whole bunch of lines on a woman's face. Oh my gosh, you don't want them to... I mean, we all have an idea of what we look like. And we all have our faults, things that we like. Some people, they only want to be photographed on one side of their face because they believe that is their best side, their best angle. And you want to with a woman, you want to capture her beauty. You don't want to remind her that she's ugly. Nobody wants to be reminded of being ugly. So men don't seem to care. You can draw them as fugly as you want. They're cool with it. But women want to look like goddesses. And gosh darn it, if they're paying you for it, you better do it. Just try to stay as realistic as you possibly can. But yeah, and that's another thing. Learn your shapes. Learn how to make them come alive. And what I mean by that is by making them look three-dimensional with light and shadow. Know where your light is coming from. The light here, the hottest spots are hitting like straight on. straight on. Where's this, and also from the top down. So it's like, where do you, if you're using a source image, you can kind of find where the light is coming from. Sometimes it's all over the place. Sometimes it's from the top coming down, so you'll have like a little shadow on the nose coming down, things like that, depending on how hard or how hot the lights are, if you have like direct lights and stuff like that. But anyway, the lighting here is just lighting her up all over. But yeah, Farrah Fawcett the hair. And it was funny because it not only was it relaxing to draw. I mean, I had this feathered hair all over the gosh darn place. And like every other drawing was a woman with hair like this. So I feathered till I couldn't feather no more. I was just so enthralled with the look. But if you do decide to do different strokes and things like that, and this is a technique that kind of helps with hair as well. You know, especially the wispy hair and things like that. And it helps give you a lot more control. So the more, like, you'll find that if you vary your lines, you can get different shapes. And still feathered. You can do different degrees of feathering. And this helps with other hair as well. And you give it direction. So like if I wanted to aim down, you just change the direction of the feather. And then you can do this sort of thing and you have different rows of feathers, different layers of feathers. You're layering the hair now. So different strokes for different folks. And you can just get as crazy as you want. Now, this is more of a straight texture, but you can get like a wavier texture, and that will kind of, if you vary it a little bit, vary those lines, you can get kind of like kinky hair, textured hair. You just vary those lines. Don't keep them all straight. And then you can do like wavy hair, and you just vary it all up. And even though you've gone in one direction, you can always break it up, and it adds fullness to it as well. Because hair doesn't just go in one direction, not unless you've pulled it all in one area. It does what it wants, especially if you've got wild and free hair. You just let it go where it goes. Let your lines just travel across the page. The closer you get to, like say you've got hair in the back here, and this is hair coming in the front, you can bring your lines closer together, and that makes it a little darker. Especially like from the ear back, like around in this area here, this can all be dark because this is like hair in the back. And then you have your shoulder, and then you'll have the hair that's coming in the front. And you don't have to erase, you just add more hair. You can just do it in different directions and just be as free as you want. And I'll take a little bit of hair off the ear. That's the ear lobe, at least it's supposed to be. And this is the hair going over the ear lobe. And you can do an earring to help you remember that there are earlobes here. And then if you need to give it more shape, like say the light's hitting it from the top here, from the hair, from the scalp growing from the hair, you can have lines closer together, and then more lines where the curve, this is where it hits the bend, and then as it bends away from the light, it gets darker. So you can have dark lines, light lines to show that hair is getting hit by the light, and then as it goes away from the light and goes into darkness, you can have the light coming back, and it just gives the illusion of a bend. Same thing like with the front here. If you want to make it look like the light is hitting it in a certain way, you can make it darker on one end, darker on the other, and where it is hitting in between is where the light's hitting it. So light could be hitting it on the very top here. So I would do the same thing. And if she's got kinky hair, I'd kind of kinky it up a little bit by doing like some swirls, just changing the texture just a bit so it's not just completely straight. Going into the light, and then as it comes away from the light, this is where it's bending. And just kind of vary my lines, but keep them close together. And voila, I've got the bend. And let's see, say this part is coming up front. It's the light's hitting it like maybe about right here, so I'll leave this part light, and then I just throw a few dark strokes in. And then down here, this is covering because it's kind of like coming over. You make it a little darker here and bring your lines there. And you can shape your hair doing that. And it's all with this kind of stroke, or this kind of stroke, this kind of stroke, this kind of stroke. It's going in different directions. Same thing with doing curls. Say you wanted to do more of a Shirley Temple type of thing, where you've got lots and lots and lots of curls, instead of just like these little wispy hairs layered and teased to all. Same kind of concept. Let's see. Let me see if I can do another face. Or what do I have going on here? Oh, hers was like more braids. I don't usually draw on the other side of pictures, but you know, why not? I'm not going to put any ink onto it, so it's fine. Different, oh, here we go. Different face. We've got little brother here. And he's kind of giving us like a little, what she got going on kind of look. Now his head is tilted to the side here, so we're going to see a lot more of his nostrils. And I'm going to give him thick eyebrows. I like thick eyebrows. I think it looks masculine, very masculine. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Here's where his eyes are. And he's kind of looking at us like that. You won't really see it very well because he's going to have like eyelashes covering and kind of in shadow. But I'm pretty much following the shape of the head. So his lips will be about like right here. Gravity will bring it down a little bit, so the contour of the face. Have the nostrils showing here. and it goes back, and then you have the illusion of his nose. There's his forehead. Let's see, his head is going to be like right here. His ears are going to be like down here on this kind of nose line coming upwards. His hair is going to be covering up a lot of this, so we're not going to see a lot of this. We're not going to see a lot of that. And we'll just have his jawline. Give him nice full lips. And got his eyes. Now, doing people with like curly hair. Okay, curly hair. One way that I like doing it is by making like cylinders, especially if they're like super curly. Oh boy, it's got lots of curls. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a pattern of where his hair is, how thick his hair is going to be, and then I'll just make it bigger. So it's going to be a lot of hair. Okay, we probably won't even see his hairline here. Go ahead and finish up a good portion of his face. So the more I draw this, the more he looks like an ex-boyfriend. I gotta type, I think. Okay. Okay, on to the curls. Okay, one way of doing it is starting off with a cylinder and then just doing that shape. That Farrah Fawcett shape, but it's more controlled. So go ahead and wrap those in there. You can even do it sideways, like this. And if you vary it up, you've got curls going on for days. Do it in that direction, doing it in this direction, and you can kind of link them very lightly. And you just vary those shapes up, and you can get some curls. It's like you're making a cylinder, but not so stiff. You want to kind of like, hair does what it wants. So you may have like little noodles, and you just do your shapes. Think about where the light's hitting it. If the light is hitting it up on top here, you want more of the lines here and less here. So maybe a couple there, but you want like a whole bunch here. And you can connect them if you wanted to. Or you can do like this swirl pattern like this. Like this type of thing. And just kind of follow where it bends. So you got like the little hole, and that could be darker. You can do like little swirls like that. And all that is just doing this sort of thing. And just varying it all over the place. You can do long curls. You can do big curls. And it's like semicircles, some of these. If they're overlapping, you just have it be a little darker on the top. They can curl the other way. And it could just be little lines like that. And if you're just doing like an afro, you can just do and you just want to vary it. You just want to go all over the place. If your hair is more controlled, like say he was more like a Shirley Temple type of character, you can do like the cylinder shape, and you can just go around that cylinder, have a little connecting line. So like it's curling, doing its own little thing. And you can even erase little lines in between to give you those ringlets. And you can just like vary your shapes. You could take one long curl if you wanted to and just go straight on down, or curled on down, however you want to do it. And you can just kind of connect it if you want. Just remember to throw some contour lines in there. And just vary your lines. Some will be a little bit closer together, some will be further apart. The further apart they are, the looser the curl. And you could just go in any direction you want, actually. Or you could follow the same direction, and then you can get more ringlets. That sort of thing. And you just keep filling it up. Have them overlap each other. Some will be a little bit darker than others. Everybody on the bottom will be darker than others. The lighter ones will be on top. And you can also cheat by filling it in with a color. Filling it in. Like say you just don't have the time to finish, you can always fill in, and that gives it a little bit more thickness as well. So I'm gonna give old boy here, Mr. Suave. So like if you start seeing your characters all start to look the same, you can always vary them up a bit by adding curls, swirls, braids, or even a combination of all of it. It can be done. But if you've got the time, you can always just go ahead and go for broke there. Okay, I've got about 30 minutes left. And I learned all this from doing that little Farrah Fawcett stroke. Little strokes will get you some really pretty thick hair. And then you can always like vary it up, throw a hand in there. Now the only way to overcome any kind of shyness with drawing hands is just draw them. Draw them. They're gonna look ugly, they're gonna look weird, they're gonna look out of place, but the more that you draw, the better you will become. So yeah, you'll have meat hooks, you'll have fish hooks, you'll have itty bitty tiny Trump hands, but you'll start to find what works best for you. One of the things that works really well is find a source image of hands that are doing what you want them to do. Another good tutorial is watching, excuse me, what is his name? I'm going to kick myself because he's one of my favorite artists. I keep wanting to call him Jet Li, but he's not Jet Li. Comic book artist. His name was just right on the tip of my tongue. I'm struggling. Words are hard on Thursday. And watch, I'll remember it. I'll be on the bus, and then it won't freaking matter. But I had gotten a really great tutorial from let's see. Is anybody in the comments? There we go. Dexter! What up? Oh, sweet daddy girlfriend. Oh, dog. I'm sorry, you guys. When I think of the name, I'll bring it back up. But he's super famous comic book artist. And I know his last name is Lee. I think it's Lee. Either L-I or L-E. I can't. God. Words are hard on Thursday. Especially when I'm drawing. I can't think of squat. Jim Lee! Thank you! Dexter, you're the bomb. I swear I'm going to have you canonized. He's one of my freaking favorite artists. I don't know. For the longest time, he used to draw like Superman that looked like freaking Oriental guy. And I'm like, you know what? That's kind of hot. Jim Lee. Yeah. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Dexter saves my hide. Yes. Yeah. He's got a great how to draw hands video. And it's like he took, what was it called? Like he took a particular shape and then just showed you how to draw a hand. It was just badass. Anyway, I'm playing myself here. But yeah, I was like, wow. He knew. Jim Lee. His name is Jim Lee. Thanks, Dexter. I'm gonna have it tattooed on my ass now. The man is the bomb. He is hilarious. He makes watching him fun. And I wish he would have had a video series channel when I was growing up, because his stuff is just freaking fantastic. I actually want to start inking more because of watching some of his videos. I mean, the things that he does with ink are just fabulous. And there's a lot of guys out there that are just like that, just amazing. So pick up your knowledge where you can. You know, it's like, don't discount anybody's work, because you'll find, like, say you see something that you like from someone else. It's like you just don't know what you can pick up from these people. Um, oh yeah. And thanks, Dexter. I am way better than this as far as doing like portraits and stuff. The stuff that I've been doing has just been, I don't know, I'll do it and it's hard to talk and draw at the same time. So, a few of my viewers, they said that they liked having commentary. And me, I just like drawing and then putting it to music because it looks like my pencil's dancing. And then, I guess that was the, at least that's how I originally took it. But yeah, you can draw curls for days. You can go absolutely bonkers with curls. And you could even get away with just doing like some basic shapes. Dreadlocks are fun too. All they are is, you can do, he would look kind of weird with dreadlocks in his junk. Dexter, you're the bomb, man. Yeah, I just picked up like this really inexpensive book from Walmart. I like the grocery store, no less. It's just drawing paper, nothing fancy. I like acid free because it doesn't turn yellow. At least it's not supposed to. And I got some baby oil on here, and this is what happens when you have baby oil in just one, like one spot. It looks splotchy and oily, and you really can't do much with it. It's just there. And it'd be that one time where it just doesn't look like it's going to go away. I don't know. But anyway, I digress. Let's see. I'm going to do something crazy with her hair. Yeah, it was interesting. Her hair looked like it was lattice work. But I'll just have it be like this. And it got like little beads to hold it all in place. And then I'll just do my braid pattern. And then you could do braid patterns for days too. I want to learn a whole nother one. I mean, there's the twists. And what I usually do is I just make the shape of where I want the braid to fall and just take it around. Vary the sizes sometimes. I think I'll do that. Yeah, but I'm really excited about seeing other artists doing their thing. Now, if you don't want it to look like a barbershop pole, you can give yourself connecting lines. Vary the lines of where they are, where they're hitting. And then put like the little shadow like on the edge. Because like on one part of the bend, you'll see the light hitting it. And I went nuts when I discovered that too. If I did this sort of ribbon-like look, oh my gosh, and so everything I drew ended up having that. Like I would geek myself out on things like that. And I think it's kind of hard to see. I'm kind of doing this sort of thing. Like I give myself a shape, and it's boring just being straight. So I kind of curve it a bit. Oh, Dexter, it'll come back. I guarantee you. You give yourself some time, pick up a art book, and just draw what you like. Don't try to draw, like fruit and crap like that. That's boring as hell. At least in my opinion. Some people make a living off of drawing fruit and crap. But yeah, find a face that you like, or a body, or a pose that you like, and just geek yourself out on it. Have fun with it. And it'll come back to you. I guarantee you. And I'm doing this sort of thing with the hair. Um, and it gives it this like ribbon look. And it's kind of like scroll work too. And then it kind of curves, so you can get away with doing something like this and have it be dark. And where it bends, it would be where the light would hit it. Well, maybe I'm doing it the opposite way. And you can just vary your lines and have fun with it. And then you can always erase where that stuff is. Here we go. And then you've got like another curl. Didn't mean for this to become a hair tutorial. I was just having some fun and decided to share a little bit of knowledge or a little bit of experience, I guess. Yeah, I know that you've lost like some time and things like that. It happens to the best of us. But I'm getting older and you know, if I don't keep my skills up, I'm gonna lose it all, or I'm gonna be in danger of drawing the same thing over and over again. Um, and you know, as you get older, you just don't have the time, or you feel like you don't have the time. Um, you know, you're at work. You know, what does it look like? You're drawing disembodied eyes on paper. You know. Um, but yeah, if you really want to get back into it, you just got to find the time. Find a free moment where you know life isn't getting to you. And just don't give yourself any pressure on being accurate and perfect. Just draw things that you like, things that you could stare at for 4 hours at a time. And that's another thing that got me back into it. I kind of let life get in the way a bit. When I was a teenager, I seemed to have all kinds of time to draw. I spent one summer drawing with a friend of mine. We would just draw. We had computer paper, and we were just drawing. And we ended up having a ton of drawings. She stopped drawing for a long time. And, you know, and like I said, life gets in the way. And you move on. But if you have a love for it, you'll find the time. You'll get back into it if you really, really want to. And there's always other ways of drawing too. There's drawing on the computer. I mean, you don't have to draw with a pencil and paper. It's just easier because it's the most accessible thing, especially when you don't have electricity. I was once the greatest. I hear you, boy. I hear you. But even people with no hands, and this is what gets me, even with people with no hands, or the ability to draw with hands, will draw. And that will put that would put me to shame. There's one artist, she draws with her mouth. You know, she would not let herself be dissuaded, so as long as you still have hands and body movement, you know, maybe you'll be able to do that. Look at you. I was once the greatest. I was the greatest. But I don't know your situation, Dexter. But you can always teach. What do they say? Those who can't teach. Which is really bad, so I should stop trying to teach somebody how to draw. Aww. But it is a lot of fun. If you can get back into it, Dexter, I encourage you. I double dog dare you. No. I triple dog dare you. No. You know, everybody has their tales. This hair is becoming a hot mess. But it's a sketchbook. I'm having fun with it. I kind of wanted to turn her into a superhero of some sort. Let's see, can I do that in 15 minutes? Let's see, what can I have her do? Let's see, let's give you a superhero outfit. How risque. I think this was going behind her ear. Oh, I remember seeing this one cute outfit. Let's see. What did I do with that outfit? There it is. Let's see, what kind of weapons should she have? Knives? Why does it have to be a weapon? Let's see. Well, you gotta fight bad guys. I guess that's why it would have to be a weapon. Let's see. We'll make that just dark. That's in the back there. I wonder if she would make an interesting bad guy. I'll give her some even darker. Make her look a little. Let's see. Ooh, we can give her a scar. Have that plate, this side of her face be all scarred up. That's why she's got her hair covered. Let's see, what should I have her do? Ooh, I like that. Hold on. Let's see, where can I put that? Like a skull-shaped, let's see. Skull-shaped, belt buckle. Oh, I can have her hand kind of hanging off the belt buckle. Or off the belt. Ooh, got 8 minutes. And now you can tell when I'm drawing from my head. Yeah, Kim, find a pose. Let's see. I don't want to. That looks awkward as hell. Okay, fine. Maybe not hanging off the belt buckle. I don't know what this weapon's going to be yet. All I know is you don't want to get hit with it. Let's see. Dexter, you're leaving me in suspense, bro. I'd love to know why you're not drawing anymore. Did life get in your way, or what happened, dude? What happened? I gotta know. Inquiring minds want to know. Tell me the Dexter story. And you got 5 minutes to do it. No, I'm just teasing. But hopefully you'll continue your art journey one day. Hopefully you won't be like 80 or 90 years old and going, I wish I was still drawing. That's why I kind of envy people in retirement. I mean, they got all day they can draw. I don't want to be one of those people who are like, retirement sucks, I'm just gonna up and die. I'm like, no, I want to draw all day. I want to paint. I want to color. I want to have fun. I want to create junk. But anyway, I'm going to have to call it quits for the moment. And I will return hopefully tomorrow. And thank you guys for joining me. I hope you got a little bit out of this impromptu hair tutorial. If you got any ideas on what kind of superpower this chick should have, cool, let me know. I might be able to use her in a story or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll just make this into a book of characters. I don't know. It's a good idea. It's different. Not unique, but this is just going to be like a little sketchbook that I could just take everywhere with me without it being too heavy on my back. Okay, you guys. I'll talk to you later, and I'll see you on the morrow. Take care. Aww. Oh, I will never tell. Alright, Tex. You keep your secrets, bro. And I'll talk to you later. You guys have a great one. And Dexter, thanks for joining me, bro. Thanks for joining me. You made my day. Take care. Bye-bye, you guys.